What's good, Grind Schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and we back in the shop today. So today, what we are going to do is we are going to knock down the front of the frame. So in the engine bay, we're gonna clean all of that up, get that all sprayed up and ready to go. We are gonna cover a lot of ground in this video, so go ahead and stay tuned and make sure you watch the whole video, man. I greatly appreciate it. Definitely helps me out in the algorithm. All those watch hours, all that watch time and stuff, definitely helps me out. If you are new to the channel or if you have not done so and you are just stopping through, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time I drop another video. Like I said, that's another thing that really helps me out and gets these videos out there. We are gonna cover a lot of ground in this video today. We are going to paint the chassis, put everything back together in the engine bay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about just in case you haven't been keeping track of what's been going on. Also, we are going to knock down the roof. So we are gonna sand it all the way down. I pretty much got it all the way sanded down to bare metal, but I wanna get it nice and cleaned up. We are going to take the tailgate off. We are gonna put the hood on the car. And then hopefully we'll get to pretty much skim coating the roof and the tailgate. And those are the only two areas that I'm gonna probably skim coat like I did the hood, just because of the simple fact that, like I said before in a previous video, that this car was involved in a hailstorm and the two soft spots are the hood and the roof. So I know for a fact that I wanna skim coat that just so I make sure that there's no flaws in it. Also too, for the body, we're gonna, go down the sides. We'll probably skim coat the bottom part of the car and then kind of just find that low spots or whatever on the doors and the rest of the panels and stuff like that. But anyways, man, let's go ahead and jump into the video. I'm not gonna stall, I'm not gonna keep talking because I got a lot to do. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, Grind Schoolers. So as you can see, I've been using the Elko as storage. So what needs to happen is we need to get this part to a point where it's pretty much cleaned out, because the bed will probably, or not the bed, the tailgate will probably lay back here at most of the parts throughout this paint job, just because of the simple fact that I'm taking that off, and that's gonna remain off until the car is painted. We are also going to have to take the front clip off and this back roll pan off in order to, get in between the crevices and stuff when I start painting. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we are trying to clean out the bed so that we can continue to keep moving. So today we are going to knock down the frame, and I should have done this already. It should have already been ready to paint, but whatever. So anyways, we are going to paint the frame today. I'm gonna knock it down with 80 grit. I was gonna hit it with a wire wheel. However, I think a wire wheel is a little bit excessive and doesn't need to happen. I'll probably hit the wire wheel in the back of the car when I get to it, but not right here. I'm gonna just do that with the 80 grit, sand it down with the 80 grit, just to scuff it up, hit it with the rust encapsulator, and then I'm gonna paint it. You're not gonna see most of this stuff anyway, like down there, but I want it to be like presentable. So when you look up under the hood, there's nothing that looks all janky and stuff like that. Or if you look through the wheel well and you see the frame, it's not all janky and ugly looking. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna put all this stuff back. So we're gonna hook up the fan shroud, put the coolant tank back, connect my wiring back to the wiring harness, and then my spark plug wires and stuff. And we're gonna get all of that done. We're gonna blow everything out with the hose or the air compressor. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and install the hood. So what I did do was, if you can see, the hood is all the way knocked down. It looks so pretty, man. Wow. Came out really, really good. So it obviously needs to be cleaned off and stuff like that. But for the most part, we made great progress on the hood. Now we're just gonna polyester primer it make sure it's dead straight, and we're good to go. So I showed this in my short. I painted the hood hinges. The hood hinges are gonna go back on the car now. It's been about, what, 2 days? I painted them the other day. They sat all day yesterday, and you know, they're good to go. They're dry to the touch. No, you know, no paint rubbing off on my hands or nothing. So that's what we're gonna do, man. And we're gonna just continue to keep moving forward. Like I said, there's a lot to do in this video, so stay tuned, man. Watch the whole thing if you can. I greatly appreciate it. Also, too, I'm gonna have one of my homies come through and help me put the hood back on the car. It's not heavy, it's just awkward. I put this hood on by myself when I first got it years ago, and then that's the reason why there was damage on this corner, because I let it slide back and it like creased up a little bit. So anyways, man, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap my door block in some 80 grit, and then I'm gonna start scuffing up this frame, and then we'll start getting painted. All right, so right now I'm just cleaning it. I'm just cleaning the frame, making sure all this dirt and gunk is pretty much out of the way. I want to make sure that I'm not covering up any dirt when I do the rust encapsulator spray. So I'm just pretty much cleaning it up. You start using the Scotch-Brite because it's a little bit easier. As you can see, my sandpaper got really gunked up, and it's a little bit more maneuverable, I guess I should say, than the Durablack. So I've been using the Scotch-Brite to kind of scuff it up. You know, not that it really needs it, but you know, get all that loose trapped dirt and stuff. And then after this, we'll go ahead and blow everything down after I finish the other side, and then so just so we can get any more excess dirt or whatever, so we can get all of that out of there. And then we'll go ahead and spray it, man, and then this engine bay will be complete, man. Put the car back together, and then it will be ready to rock and roll, like at least run and drive and move around, because we are gonna have to move this car around the shop a little bit. So anyways, man, let me go ahead and finish cleaning it up, and you can kind of see how, you know, how much nicer it looks just by just cleaning it. So let me go ahead and clean up all the rest of this. I'll blow it off, and then we'll get the painting. All right, y'all, so I pretty much took some empty jars because I don't have any like plastic mixing cups or anything. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour the acetone in these jars, and then pretty much clean up the fender bolts and the hood hinge bolts. Clean them up because those are gonna get sprayed and painted as well. I want to clean up all the dirt and all that kind of good stuff off of it. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll spray those so that by the time I'm done spraying the frame and everything, all the bolts will be ready to go, and then we can throw everything back together. But the reason why obviously you want to paint your bolts is because you don't want to have a clean fender that's held on by something that looks like that. So that's the reason why we are doing it, and they have to get cleaned of all the dirt and debris and stuff like that so that the paint sticks. And yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on here, man. And this is the type of stuff, man, that you pay a good painter for. That's the type of stuff that you pay a good painter for. Not only that, also down up in here with getting all the nooks and the crannies and all that kind of stuff, cleaning it up, scuffing it up, doing it the right way, not just painting over dirt and then, you know, letting it be clean, because down the road you will have issues. The paint will flake. You may not notice it right away when you look up under here, but eventually over time it'll start flaking off. So that's the reason why, you know, painters charge what they do, at least good painters. If you just take it to Mako, man, you can get you a good $1,000 paint job and they're just gonna spray over everything. But anyways, man, let me go ahead and jump on these bolts, throw them in the cans, and then let them soak so we can get them cleaned up and painted. So now we got the motor all wrapped up, just so I don't get no overspray on anything. We're gonna go ahead and knock it down with the pre now. We did the degreaser, the purple power degreaser, just kind of clean up the frame. I went over it like a couple times with the degreaser. I cleaned it with the rag. You can see how filthy the rag is. So I cleaned it with the rag, Scotch brighted it. Also used the brush right there to kind of clean it. So now last step, we're gonna go over it with the pre, just so that I can make sure that I get any last little bit of dust or dirt or debris or whatever. And then we can go ahead and start knocking it down. It's probably excessive to do it this many times, but I'm trying to make this, like I said, as perfect as I can, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and knock it down with the pre, and then we'll go ahead and get the rust encapsulator on here, and we'll paint it. So let's get to it. All right, y'all. I think it came out pretty dope. You know, pretty clean. It's still drying up. And that's just the encapsulator. That's not the paint. So we still gotta paint it. And then I did the other side. And then I got the screws or the bolts all cleaned up. One fender, the other fender, and then these are the hinge bolts. So I'm not too concerned about them being perfect because they're just bolts. I just want them to look like they need to look under the car, so or on the car, so you're not seeing like that blue or like the rustiness and stuff like that. I'm not gonna scrub them or nothing like that. I don't really care that much, but we are going to just go ahead and knock it down with the paint, and it should be ready to go. We'll let it dry, and then we'll throw everything back together. Everything's coming out pretty perfect, so hopefully I can keep this pace up. All right, y'all, so we got the car started up. It seemed like I need to throw some more training fluid in here, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the block, and then try to get it up the block, I guess. Oh no. All right, y'all, I tried to go around the block. It seems like it needs a little bit more training fluid. It's burning something off. I think it's the training fluid. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it do its thing there. And then, you know what I'm saying? After that's burnt off, I'll make sure all that's good. We'll go ahead and try to take it around the block, but I'm gonna throw some more training fluid in here because I tried to take it around the block and I got stuck. I had to reverse all the way back. So let's go ahead and throw some training fluid in here and then take it for a spin. Yes, sir. I was having a hard time focusing, but she's running, baby. We got her back on the road real quick. I'm just taking her for a little spin right fast, you know what I mean? Just to see what the deal is. I'm about to pull it back to the crib and check it out. But yeah, man, we back in action. Got the hood back on. It still got to come back off for us to paint it, but whatever. Yeah, I just pulled up to the house real quick. I'm gonna take it on another test drive. I just wanted to see, you know what I'm saying, like see if this whatever's on these headers, see if it's gonna burn off real quick. Just so that, you know what I mean, like it's not something doesn't happen while the hood is closed and I don't even know until it's too late. I'm just trying to let this die down a little bit, and then after that, I'll go back and where it's at now. Now we just gotta knock off the body and we good. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and get this thing together. And then after I get it together, you know what I'm saying? We'll just keep moving on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It looks like it's dying down a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the car, man. I don't have nobody outside to film me, so you know what I'm saying? You might not get a lot of driving footage today, but I promise you that is coming. So let's I'm gonna have to hop back in and then test it out, and then I'll chop it with y'all in a minute. All right, grind schoolers, that's gonna do it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Man, I'm super geeked about how everything turned out, the way the chassis has been painted, the way the engine bay has turned out. It looks phenomenal, minus the trashy accessories that I have, and it says drive assembly and all that kind of stuff. Once that stuff is gone, and I have my new valve covers and stuff, this thing is gonna be immaculate. So the engine bay is done, complete. When I started the engine bay, I was a little bit overwhelmed, I should say. I was a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, man, I gotta do this whole engine bay, I gotta do the whole car, I gotta do the chassis, blah, 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 blah. Do the interior, all that kind of stuff, take the doors off, but it really hasn't been that bad, you know, just doing it in like pieces. You know, I cleaned the motor, that was one little piece one day. Then I scuffed it all up, and then I painted it. That was another day. Took it apart, and then, you know, painted the parts that came off of the car, and then scuffed up the chassis and did the chassis. Did it all separately in different days. That really helped out because it didn't really feel like it took that much time, even though it did. But it didn't feel like work, I should say. You know, when I first started it, I felt like it was gonna be work, but you know, whatever. Anyways, everything is all back together. The hood is back on the car. That thing is knocked down. I wanted to try to get the roof all the way knocked down to bare metal. There's still some spots left, and then take the tailgate off. I was unable to get to that, but we'll go ahead and throw that on to the next video. We'll go ahead and knock it down, throw the body filler on it, sand it down, and do everything like that. And then we'll put the body filler on the body, and then sand the body down. And then this thing is ready for primer. And then after that, it'll be ready for paint. So, or polyester primer, and then more body work, and then epoxy primer, and then paint. So there's a lot more to do, but we're knocking it out. This car will definitely be ready next year. I know it's late for this year because the summer is over, but for next year, I'm getting an early start so that this thing can be ready, because once this thing is painted, all we need is suspension and wheels and tires, and obviously my brakes and stuff. But yeah, it'll be ready to go by then, you know what I'm saying? So we're working, man, and I was excited. I was geeked because I almost had some wheels for this car, but somebody else scooped them up, and there were some IROCs. I don't want to run IROCs on this car, but it was a cheap option to throw in the car right now so that I could upgrade my brakes. They were 22-inch IROCs, and I just wanted them just on the car so that I could run my brakes and get that piece knocked out. But now we're back to the drawing board. We're gonna go try to find and source some different wheels, some more wheels. Maybe we might find somebody else selling some IROCs for the low, and then we could just throw them on. The only reason why I want to go with IROCs is because I know that they'll fit and they look decent. You know what I mean? They're a decent wheel. I could run it, you know, for the length of time, you know what I'm saying, next summer or whatever. I really don't want to run that wheel too long. I really want to get the wheels that I want, but right now, you know, throwing some 4Gs or whatever on this car is not really feasible when there's so much other stuff that needs to be done. So I just need a quick wheel to, you know, like I said, do my brake system. But anyways, man, we're moving along super dope. We're getting it done. We're taking care of everything, and I'm super ecstatic about the way this thing is coming out. So like I said, man, next thing we gotta do is just knock all the rest of the car down with the body filler. I'm gonna take my tailgate off, and then I'm gonna also paint the rest of my chassis. I'm not gonna go all the way underneath the car just yet. I'm gonna save that until I put my other exhaust on. But I will get the outside of the chassis and the back wheel wells and all that kind of good stuff knocked down, painted up and stuff like that, because it wasn't difficult. And the amount the amount of difference that it makes with the chassis being painted is night and day. It looks gorgeous under there. Once I get my drive assembly and all that other stuff, all that other old trash off of there, and I get the new, my new stuff, then this car in the engine bay is gonna look immaculate. So, and that's what I was going for. You know, obviously it's not a show car or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, it was built in the garage and it looked good. So, let me stop rambling, man. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it once again. And if you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time we drop another video. That really helps me out, helps me get into the YouTube algorithm so that other people just like yourself get to enjoy these types of videos and all this hard work and labor that I'm putting in on these cars, man. So anyways, man, that's gonna be it. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoy, and always remember, work hard so you can live free.